And back then, Ben, the second map was a whirlwind as well. Back then, we saw Goswser busting out the Roachling. As I said, that was really cool, but that's not something you can really take into the next series. That's not something you can really do again. So we will see.
What will it be from the Doppler effect?
Doppler has been busting out a lot of crazy builds throughout the entire
I keep saying the Doppler effect is the wrong thing, and people are getting very mad at me on Twitter. So it's when a sound changes frequency as it moves past you. So if for instance, you're like in a car and you see an ambulance coming, you hear it, and then as it passes you, it gets much louder.
So it's basically like watching a 3D movie when it's all over the place. Or like watching it with a surround sound system.
I assume that you could recreate the Doppler effect using surround sound.
Of course, because like a car drives and then it goes past you
from
one
past
speed.
you. Yeah, it makes sense to me.
It's basically it. So basically, the Doppler effect is a surround sound system.
Yeah, it's real life surround sound.
Of course, Goswser is our blue Zerg spawning in the right bottom side of the map. I won't say mic. Map. He's been playing really good StarCraft. Mike has been one of the pioneers for North American StarCraft for quite a while right now. He's been spending a lot of time in Europe, so every now and then you kind of forget about him. It's like, what is Goswser doing these days? But it's good to have him back on North American soil, despite still representing, of course, Team Millennium, the European team. That has been very good to him. I hear nothing but good stories about Millennium, by the way, from everyone who's been on it.
Mike recently played the sickest ZVT against Lucifron while he was over there. That was Mike, right? That crazy game on Newkirk with Swarm Hosts and Vipers against Mech.
That was not that crazy. Yeah, I know.
Dude, that game was so crazy.
Because Lucifron was never ever going to win.
Yeah.
I remember it. That game was super, super long. It was a fun game, but...
Lucy hung in there for so long.
Yeah, but he never had a... It was just until he was going to mine out, because Lucifron was never really killing anything. He was looking expensive units.
He was killing lots and lots of free stuff.
Yes, he was killing lots and lots of locusts.
That was a funny game. Standard-looking Zerg here from Goswser. He's gone spawning pool hatch into... well, we haven't seen what that next choice is going to be. Once again, we have the gateway opening from MacSed. He's been doing this all day, day.
Cybercore about to finish up. He's going to make the Zealot this time, something he didn't do in last game. Perhaps he got a little bit scared once more. He's like, man, this crazy North American Zerg just keeps throwing crazy strategies at me. But, no, he cancelled the Zealot, so he's not all that afraid. After the game on Whirlwind the last time when he got all in, the game after that, he made the Zealot and he marched it across the map, tried to see something, but then he realized, hey, this first Zealot, I can't really see all too much with it, because I'm running into a Queen and 4 links, and it's going to clean up my Zealot.
Why do you think he canceled the Zealot? He didn't scout anything.
No, that's just in case of an early pull. If you have to worry about links, then you let the Zealot finish. And if by this time there are still no early links, then it's okay to cancel it and you save yourself the minerals and you just get the Sentry. That's what a lot of Protoss players do.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a lot of guys doing it, and it makes perfect sense to me on a 2-player map.
And also, of course, then when they build a hatchery in natural, it's nicer to have that Zealot out there.
That's what actually happened in that first game. He canceled the Zealot and that hatch finished. And
that was Wang Xin, though. That's different.
That's right. That's right. Sin versus Wang Xin.
It's kind of like what they'd like to do in PvT as well. Then you make the Zealot, and if there's an engineering bay going up, you can deal with it eBay with your Zealot. And if there's no eBay, then you can cancel your Zealot and still take the expand a little bit quicker. And you don't really need the Zealot.
Very fast Stargate from MacSed here, right underneath the Overlord. Says, "Hey, I'm not trying to hide this. I'm going to make Stargate units. What you going to do about it?" Goswser already on 3 bases is in the process of droning up. Also getting his double gas. Get a pretty quick double gas this time, about 530, which is just ever so slightly faster than.
But I think it's still because in the end of the day, even though MacSed hasn't done too much crazy stuff yet, every now and then you know that he is a Protoss player that is willing to drop, pylons on your side of the map at the 8-minute mark and then bosses out crazy gateway aggression, even when he shows you the Stargate, because of course he's going to get 1-2 Phoenix, push away the Overlords, but after that, it's a big question mark what MacSed will throw at you. So I can understand that Goswser doesn't want to take too many risks. It's okay to play a little greedy, get enough drones out. You don't want to be overly safe like he did the first time on Belshir Vestige, but you definitely don't want to take too many risks either. Certainly not in your deciding game over here in the round of 32.
Roach Warren now down for Goswser. Looks like he wants to play the most standard game imaginable. He is still droning upon seeing that Phoenix. MacSed will continue producing Phoenixes. He's got 2 out now. 3rd one is on the way.
And there's a Forge as well for MacSed, which is a lot quicker than in most of his other games. So I'm pretty curious, man. What is he going to do with this Forge? Is this going to be like, is he going to research +1 and then throw down a lot of gateways? Because I have the feeling that's what he did back then in WCS round of 16 last season when he played against Scarlet, but Scarlet was able to defend. No, I was wrong. He's going to drop a Robo, so never mind.
Okay. Phoenix will confirm the location of Goswser's third base. I remember the first time I played RTS, I thought the only reason you scouted was to see where they spawn.
Well, you know, that's sort of true.
I guess that's the first reason you scout.
Unless it's a two-player map. You know, in Red Alert, you definitely want to know where they spawn, so you have to know where the engineers came from. It all started with Red Alert. Man.
My first RTS was Warcraft 2. You could turn off Fog of War.
My first one was Command & Conquer, and I loved it. You had the trees, you had the tanks that could turn into a little tree. No, that was Red Alert. When I Command & Conquer, you had the motorcycle guys, man.
And in Warcraft 2, you had archers that turned into trees. It was so OP.
Yeah, the tanks that could turn into trees in Red Alert were really OP as well. Either way, 63 drones right now for Goswser users. So in my opinion, Ben, he finds himself in a pretty reasonable spot. A couple of Phoenixes with quite a bit of energy are just idling over here between the second and third base from Goswser user.
Going to lift and kill a single drone. As Goswser is going to begin. Uh-oh. That's a small mistake.
3 queens are always nice. After this, there will still be 2 queens on the map. 1 queen is in production, so it's going to slow Goswser down a little bit. MacSed is going to go up to 3 bases, but it's a 9-minute mark, which is still relatively quick if you open up with Phoenixes, don't get me wrong. If I open up Phoenixes most of the time, by the time it's like 10 minutes and something by the time that I actually dare to take my third base. That's the reason why I lose most of my games. I'm too worried about what's coming in a certain phase when it's not coming. And then later on, when I think I'm safe, their economy was actually too good because I took my turret too late.
Goswser's got a good economy right now. 70 drones. These Phoenixes haven't really slowed him down that much. Losing a queen is frustrating, but ultimately not a huge deal. Roach speed's finishing up. I think his Hydra den's already built. And whoa, 20 roaches at once. The power of larva inject.
That's interesting, and I'm a little bit worried. I mean, 20 roaches can deal a crazy amount of damage. You saw in the last game in Belgium Vested, where Goswser was in a worse position than he is right now. He was able to do surprising amount of things with those roaches, being able to cancel third base twice. But it's also one of those things, man. If this goes wrong once and you just made 20 roaches and they don't pay for themselves, you know, you have to get ready for your funeral in StarCraft.
And these Phoenixes are going to see exactly what's happening. It's
going to be 2 Void
three-base
Rays.
Roach Speedling attack.
It's going to be 2 Void Rays. There is a cannon, there is photon overcharge, there are sentries.
And a Colossus.
I'm a little bit worried for Goswser right now. I don't think that these roaches will be able to get done what he's hoping for. He does have a he does have a 4 hatchery on the way over here.
Now, if he can somehow get a really good trade, if he can kill a Colossus, can take out some expensive units, that might make it all worthwhile. But oh, that's not what he wants. Those are great force fields from MacSed. And these roaches are going to dance forward and maybe kill a sentry or 2. But that is about all they're going to get. Second sentry.
He did lose a couple of sentries already, though.
Well, now the roach count has somehow seemingly unfazed by what's been going on. Is going to get up on top of this Immortal. Immortal's going to go down. Colossus is very exposed. He's going to run for his life. I think he's also going to die. But, man, this seems like such an expensive attack for Goswser. He's losing all of these units. Void Rays will clean up the rest. Yes, there are going to be some probe kills, but no base being denied.
22 Hydralisk are on the way for Goswser as well. That's a really interesting follow-up. If MacSed doesn't start Colossus production immediately, like right here and right now, I don't think he's going to have the units to deal with these Hydras. He did lose quite a few probes. Okay, he has 1 Colossus. 1 Colossus is already very good. Second is on the way. Goswser kind of putting himself in a narrow position right now where he says, okay, I'm going to try to do crippling amount of damage. This was a lot of damage, but all the Void Rays survived. Void Ray Gateway units pretty bad against pure Hydra, but with 1 Colossus and a 2nd Colossus on the way, if MacSed defends once more, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard though, like 51 army supply against 98, but all these gateways are about to finish up. MacSed is on 3 bases, 58 probes is not fantastic, but you know, with 3 probes in production at once, 2-3 Colossus, oh.
I mean, Goswser's just trying to play a style of trading. His attack has been spotted once more by another Phoenix.
But he's doing this of 62 drones. 65 now.
Yeah,
but
a little, slightly fewer drones than he really wants. He wants to be like 75 to the 79 drones.
Then you can throw crazy amounts of roaches and hydras. Either way, he still has a massive army supply lead. It's all going to come down to force fields. And will he be able to keep these Colossus alive? Roaches are on top of the Colossus,
those force fields are not perfect. There's a lot of units coming in from the south side.
Colossus.
Void Rays are going to charge up. This could be the attack that Goswser needs. The Colossi are falling. The Void Rays melting away. Oh my goodness. Oh my damn. As Goswser has breached the third base, all the expensive units are dead. And that might do it, man.
I think it will. What a beautiful engagement that was by Goswser. I loved it, Ben. He's setting himself up for this. This was a risky attack because he was going to have to do that.